Hello and welcome to session 19 of From the Heart Friday with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B Creative Cardiology. And happy Friday, everyone. I'm so glad you joined me. We have a cool, crisp fall day out here in upstate New York, but we've actually had a pretty beautiful week, long week, and we were out of town last Sunday. Hey Janelle, how are you? So we went up to Rochester last Sunday for a conference, stayed the night, and then Monday we drove home, took a little detour through Letchworth State Park, and it's so beautiful. Monday was gorgeous. It was almost 70 degrees, and the leaves were at their peak, and it was just absolutely beautiful. So a couple of the cards I have today, I thought we'd do some coloring, some colored pencils, and some blending there. But they're inspired by the beautiful country drive through the farmland that we enjoyed on Monday. So a couple things I do want to just say thank you so much for joining and watching. And if you're here with me on Facebook or watching the replay, then definitely leave me a comment, make sure you subscribe to my page. And also, if you are on YouTube watching the replay here, then make sure you give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and definitely subscribe to my channel. I would love to do some YouTube live videos over there as well, but there's actually a requirement. YouTube says you have to have 1,000 followers or 1,000 subscribers to your YouTube channel before they'll actually let you do YouTube live videos. So if you'd like to see me do some live videos over on YouTube, then make sure everybody that subscribes definitely helps that count. Right now I'm currently at 275, so I do need your support in order to get that number up to 1,000 so that I can do those videos over there on YouTube as well. Hey Nancy, how are you? You had some rain this week too, but it's 70. It's about 52 here today, but we haven't had any snow yet. We've only had a couple of frost, but I have a feeling that might change next week. Actually next Friday, when I was looking at the 7-day forecast, it looked like that little snow icon was on the weather report. So who knows, maybe for next Friday's videos, we'll have to use the first frost or first snow stamp set or something. All right, so I also want to give out a shout out to, I received a beautiful card from my stamping friend Naomi. Isn't this gorgeous? She combined the sentiment is from To a Wild Rose, and along with the Magnolia Lane, the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set, and the Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper here. And these are actually the Memories and More cards, and they do come with the envelopes too, with the liners. So, but isn't this card stunning? I was like totally blown away when I received this today. And check this out, even the inside, she fussy cut all of those from the Designer Series paper and adhered them on the inside of the card. I mean, that's stunning. So thank you so much, Naomi. Like this is so beautiful. I had to share it, and definitely I'll treasure this one and put it on my display. So thank you so much. I love receiving happy mail from everybody, and actually has some happy mail going out too. So the winner of one of last week's Everything is Rosy cards, that is Lavon Crumpets. So Lavon, if you're watching, message me with your address so that I can get that card in the mail to you. So thank you. So today, like I said, we are going to do some watercoloring, or colored pencil coloring, and then blending it. They are watercolor pencils. And for coloring, two of my very favorite stamp set are the Heartland here. It's got the farm images, which is right up my alley because I'm a farm girl. And then Garden Shed, I absolutely love this one too. I think that's a little overlooked in the catalog. So hopefully we can create some cute things with those today and inspire you to do some coloring. All right, so I'm gonna flip this around and all right, try to make this as painless as possible here so that I can get you guys back to where we're supposed to be. Okay, so I'll put these here. I've got my host code there, 4FWD6ZCV. My promotion right now is Of course, anybody that places an order will get a free tutorial from me. If your order is $50 or more, you'll get a set of the pearl adhesive gems there. Love those. And yes, and if your order is $75 or more, then you'll also receive one of my card kits. All right, so I think we're in a good spot there. I am about $600 shy of my goal for the month. So any order helps. Just use that code and I'll get those goodies out to you. Okay, are we straight? All right. So let's start with the Heartland first. Like I said, we drove through some beautiful farm country this weekend. So it's still fall. I am not quite ready to shift to winter. I'm holding out until next week and that first snow. So I am still using up some of my, this is the Come Together Designer Series paper, the perfect fall pack. And I have cut, actually, you notice I did match my card today. I've got my mint macaron sweater on. So we're using some mint macaron cardstock today. It's one of the colors from the Come Together Designer Series paper pack. And this is cut to 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm gonna fold it here at the 4 1/4 mark. Okay, oops, spinning things around. Okay, so I've got that. And I'm actually gonna set this aside because I'm gonna do a little bit of layering. I've cut a layer of early espresso to 4 by 5 1/4, as well as some, see, we've got a lot of mint macaron going on. This is the mint macaron Pretty Peacock check pattern that's got the little pumpkins on the back side. All right, so this is again 1/4 inch smaller, so it's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So we're gonna tape those together, and I did make sure I've got a pretty full snail here, so I hopefully won't run out mid-project and have to go running for that. I always try to anticipate the things that I'm gonna need. I try to put a little pile together, and of course I always end up kind of scrambling for something. I'm not sure. You never know when you're crafting. You always need something. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside too. I'm not gonna glue it down yet because I think I'm going to use some ribbon or twine, in which case I don't want that showing. I'm gonna keep that going. Okay, so from the stamp set here, to go on the front of this, I don't want it to be the entire front, but just to be a focal image. And of course, no parent would let their child go barefoot with no shirt on here and they're just their overalls at this temperature. So I'm going to use the tractor and the dog because that is a more likely scenario, something we would see around here. So I have that mounted here, but I feel like that's a little bit dark, but let me see. I'm going to move this just a little bit, see if does that help? I wonder if I can. There we go. I turned a little light on. Maybe that will help. Okay, so I'm gonna do my stamping in early espresso, and I have cut a couple of ovals. These are from the Layering Ovals framelits. They're not the stitched. I needed a size that would fit that tractor image, and the stitched ones just didn't quite fit. So I've got a layer Whisper White and some early espresso. I'm gonna stamp that tractor right on here. Okay, it's just a little early espresso ink. Tractor right in the middle of that. Beautiful. Okay, put that away. Gotta clean that a little bit before I stick my arm in it and smear it. Okay. So like I said, we're not doing watercoloring. If I were watercoloring, or if you were watercoloring, you would definitely want to use waterproof ink like StazOn. Stampin' Up colored ink pads. These are classic inks. They're water-based, So I do need to be a little bit careful even using the blender pens. These are really cool because you do get 3 to a pack. They're double tipped. It really doesn't matter which end you use. Oh, good thing I got a little scrap paper here. But they're clear. You just say it's kind of like a water, it's not water, but it's like just a clear solution that's in there that when we use these with the colored pencils, then it blends them nicely and it makes it look like you painted it. So I've pulled out a couple of colors here. We don't have a pretty peacock colored pencil, but Pacific Point, I think I can make that work pretty good. I've got some basic black, garden green, crushed curry here, of course, because I think I'll make that a yellow lab. I think those are the colors I need. I've got both sets here, the original and assortment too, and they do show you the colors that they come in on the back. So there's 13 colored pencils in the original, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 different colors here in the second pack. Okay, so I've got these, and yeah, before I put my card together, I think let's just give this a little bit of coloring. I think you guys can see that pretty well. You can let me know. All right, so what I like to do first here, I'm just gonna take my green and just mark some of the grass on here. And that's the nice thing, is so much of this is, I just follow the lines that are here on the image already. And I know this is shadow, but I'm just going to just lightly blend it in there. Okay. All right, so not too much. And the cool thing with these, you can always add more color. You can always go back in. I'm gonna just do some lightly here on the lab. And you don't need a lot because, like I said, it is going to blend. Okay, so just got a little bit of color there. I'm gonna use a little bit of black, and I say a little bit on the, oops, sorry about that. I hope that didn't mess up my video. I got a phone call there in the middle of it, okay, so, all right, so I'm just highlighting the shading that Stampin' Up has already done. I don't want these too dark. I will highlight the treads of the tires. And then just a little bit in here. Okay, I don't want it too dark because, you know, you want to be able to see the sketchings too. And all right, so I did grow up on a dairy farm. My dad had a few different tractors. He wasn't particular to any particular special one. And I admit, I know green is John Deere, but I couldn't tell you the make and model of this particular tractor. So bear with me if you are a tried and true farmer and you know the difference. I am going to color this a little bit with my Pacific Point, and the reason I'm doing that is primarily just so that it matches my card here. So I'm not being too brand specific. So I know that doesn't really look like much, but check this out when we do the color, the blends here. So these are, it's just, I couldn't even tell you the solution. It's a special solution. You can use them with pastels, with watercolor pencils. You can use them directly with our classic inks. So they're really kind of cool thing to have. So I'm going to just do this and see how it really does. It makes it look kind of painted. I love these. All right, so just going over that. Then you just scribble it off before going to your next color. And like I said, because I use the Early Espresso, which is a classic ink, I am going to get pick up a little bit of that ink Here's that's why it looks a little muddy, which is perfect for underneath the tractor because, you know, your farmyard's gonna have dirt. So that's okay. That works for what I need here. And again, with the tires, just going through those. All right, so you don't have to have any special talents in coloring or anything. Stampin' Up! Is nice because they've already done most of that shading, that hard work for us. All right, so just going through that. Who loves to color? Do you find it therapeutic? I don't have any of those big coloring. I have enough stamps that I can stamp all kinds of images and then send Ziggy to my craft room if I forget anything. She just ran outside. I let her out. We were, like I said, we were out of town a little bit over the weekend, and we did have a pet sitter here come to feed her and play with her a little bit. But when we have a pet sitter, we just have them leave her inside because she doesn't always like to come when she's called, and we don't want them to have to worry about, you know, if she doesn't come or things like that. So she was stuck inside all day Sunday and then Monday because we drove home through the park and took our time. We didn't get home until about 6 o'clock Monday evening. So she was home for 2 beautiful days inside, and she's a little stir crazy. So, and then it rained a couple other days this week, so she's just like, let me out of here. All right, so I'm going to adhere that right on top. Okay. Hi, Nancy. How are you doing? Did you get the lake, everything at the lake all wrapped up, or are you guys enjoying a few last days there? All right, so I've got some linen thread. You can see I've about used up the whole of this package here, but I thought this would be fun. I've got a little bit of a knot. Let's just take it off where I used it up here. I want to leave enough room in case I decide I actually want to tie a bow. So I'm going to wrap this around twice, then I'm going to knot it. Just tie it in a little knot here, and the nice thing with this is if I need to, I can always wiggle it around the card or move it as need be. All right, so I'll put a couple dimensionals on here, and that will help me determine where I want to put that ribbon for certain. Okay, so just putting 3 on there. That should be good. Hold everything in place. All right, let's see. So if I put this in the center, I am gonna need to move this. Move it over just a little bit. Oh, don't stick. Uh-oh. Whew, saved it. Okay, so I need to move this just a little bit. Not quite that far. There we go. All right, smooth that out. I do want to have this separate. Linen thread, especially on a farm card, kind of reminds me of baling twine. So to this, I'll use another new dimensional and the one that came off. Here we go. Right in the middle there. Now I can snip this and leave it long enough for a bow or something. And I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this down to my card base before I try that bow. That way it'll help to keep my ribbon, my twine there in place. Okay. All right, so now that I've got that held, I can do a little bit of a bow here. There we go. I can always, oops, I want my tails to come down. All right, I can always trim that off. And I'm gonna hold that in place. I always tell everybody don't pick the glue dots, but in this case, I wanna slip one right underneath my knot to hold that where I want it, and then it's pretty much invisible there. So let's trim these. Use my arm there. There we go. And I think it does need just a little something else. So I've got a partial package of some rhinestones here. So let's go ahead and let's add some of these, because even though this is kind of a masculine card, we can still add a little bit of bling and jazz it up here. I think that's okay. It's funny, I've done a couple of classes in conjunction with a local craft brewery, which is funny. We did crafts and craft beers, and I've had men and women, we've done a few classes there, and the men are always so funny because they go through more rhinestones and accessories than the women ever dreamed of. Men really love their bling when it comes to making cards. I thought that was kind of funny. Okay, so that's our first one here. Okay, what do you guys think? All right, so that was using the Heartland stamp set with the watercolor pencils. Okay. Just checking to make sure we're still live. Okay. And then let's do something a little similar with the Garden Shed stamp set. That one's great for coloring, and I think this has been a little overlooked in the catalog a little bit. So the Garden Shed stamp set is on page 126 here of the annual catalog. It's right down there at the bottom for $23. It's a cling scent. And actually that was included in this one-day flash sale that happened on Wednesday. So if you happen to grab that, then good for you. You got a good deal on that one. But if not, $23, that's a beautiful stamp set. So let's see here. I hadn't decided on a card-based color. I've got some Cajun Craze as well as the Pretty Peacock, a layer of Early Espresso again, and another piece of the Come Together Designer Series paper. I love this barn, the wood plank piece there. So let's start with this. Okay, I'm going to adhere my barn plank, okay, right to the Early Espresso. So the designer paper here is 3 3/4 by 5. And this is 1/4 of an inch bigger, so it's 4 by 5 1/4. All right, just stick that right to that. We can decide on our actual base maybe here in a little bit. So this time, let's see, I put the tractor stamp on. Okay. So Garden Shed, this is a big stamp that I'm using the E block here, and I actually thought we would just stamp right on top of the Designer Series paper and then color that. Okay, so I'm going to ink this all up with Early Espresso, and because it's a bigger stamp, I do have this down on the table, and then I'm pressing the ink pad onto it so you can see if it's got enough ink or not. I do want to make sure it's good and covered. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna go this side, maybe. I guess it doesn't really matter which way we go. I'm just gonna stamp this right on it, press down firm. Oh, okay, that came out pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna close the ink pad for now. I am gonna clean that one because that was a pretty big stamp. I really don't wanna stick my arm in this. Always good to clean your stamps right away. It does keep, especially with the red rubber here, it does help to keep the rubber supple so that they will last you a long, long time. Okay, so I thought we would just go ahead. We can see what colors we've got here. I know we've got garden green, but maybe some granny apple. Oh, or well, let's go with some granny apple too. We can do different shades of green. And actually, there is an early espresso in here. Let's do that and identify our trees a little bit first. Okay, can always go and add in whatever I want. Okay, we've got a couple shovels here. So we'll get those colored. There is a lot here, so it really kind of depends on how much you want to color. Let's see, let's just accent the roof line. And then maybe, let's see, we do have Cajun Craze in here. Is that it? No, that's Cherry Cobbler. Cajun Craze. All right, so I will do some of these on the roof. Give us just a little bit of, there we go. Just so we know where we are. And we're gonna blend this out anyways, so. And actually this works out perfect because, oh, where's my, I just had the espresso here. Works out good because with using the barnwood background, I really don't have to do much for the shed here. I'm just going to highlight some of these. Just kind of frame it out a little bit. Okay. It's kind of a fun thing to do here on a kind of a little bit of a dreary afternoon. Let's see. But this way you can at least see it starting to take shape. Okay, I think that looks pretty cool. All right, so then we've got some granny apple green. Actually, we could do all kinds of colors because it's fall, so we'll start with some granny apple, and then we can go in and add maybe some crushed curry. We've got some pumpkin pie here too. Let's just add some of this in. You see, I'm not real specific on things, but that's okay. Let's add, where is this? Oops. That's the pumpkin pie. I'll just go in here because it will be kind of cool and when we blend it. Okay, and then a little bit of the crushed curry, little yellows in there. All right, it's starting to look a little more fall. Can even add a little bit, maybe a little bit of the cherry cobbler. Okay, so get that in there, and then I'm gonna use some garden green down on some of these lower bushes and the shrubbery down there. Okay. And then I'm gonna pull out, there's old olive in here. We'll do that for the grass. So using all our colored pencils today. Works out good. But it is kind of neat. You can just stamp and color right on top of the designer series paper. Still make that out. We'll use some of this Cajun. I've got some terracotta pots here. Just kind of highlight some of these. Okay, then we do have, let's see, I've got a straw hat up there. Let's use the crushed curry on that again. All right, so there are a lot of pieces here. You could do as much or as little as you like. Let's just add a little bit of pink here. Maybe some yellow, bright yellow daisies on it. And then there is a basic gray. Hi Pam, how are you doing? Well, this isn't taking me too long. So far, I've already made one card, and I'm just about finished with the second one. And that hasn't quite been a half hour yet. So, and that's the nice thing, you don't have to color all of it. You could always do some spotlighting and just do just color certain parts of it. All right, and then we've got some more. Where's my espresso? Okay, get the handles here. All right, so I think it's pretty much colored. What do you guys think? Okay, so let's start a little bit. We'll just kind of go through some of this, blend it. Go doing the bottom color. I'm gonna kind of do all the greens. Do all the greens at once, and then we don't really have to switch colors in there. All right, just a little bit. And then we'll move on to our trees, and I do love how that is kind of coming together. And you could always go in and add more, kind of accent different pieces, but I think I like the way that is. Kind of do this little crush, little terracotta pots here. Okay, and I really don't think I'm gonna blend. I like the way that looks, so I'm not even, really don't think I'm gonna blend the rest. Do this just to kind of accent the door. There is some hardware on here. But I think that looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? All right, so should we do this on the Cajun Craze, or should we? I almost think I like the contrast of the pretty peacock. What do you guys think? Well, while you're deciding, you guys let me know. I've got the scrap of Whisper White here, and the garden shed has some pretty cute sayings. Every flower that ever bloomed had to go through dirt to see the sun, or plant dreams, dig out doubts, and grow a happy life. Both of those are really cute. I think I'll go with the longer one. I'll stamp that an early espresso. Now this is about a 1-inch strip. I want that a little bit skinnier. I've got my new paper trimmer here, and good news, because the paper trimmer will be available for customer purchase starting on November 1st. How awesome is that? If you're wondering what the difference is, the blade is significantly bigger and better on this one. Cuts so smooth and easy. I just cut a little 1/4 inch strip off of that, so it's a 3/4. I'm going to stamp this first so I know just how long a piece I need. Okay. Stamp that on the end. All right. And then I can trim that down and layer that on top. Okay, so let's see. That is, where do I want to trim that? Yeah, right about that 3.5 inch mark there. Seems pretty good. Okay. All right, so let's fold this. I like the pretty peacock. Pam voted for that. Okay. All right, so there's a bone folder under my pile of colored pencils here somewhere. So again, standard card base, that's 5.5 by 8.5 and folded at the 4 1/4 mark. I'll use some adhesive on here. Just like that. Yeah, I do think that makes it pop. Pretty rustic look. We'll add a couple of dimensionals here to our sentiment. Yeah, let's put a third. Okay. And where do we want to put that? I kind of think like right in here, because I don't really want to cover it up. Let's do it right down here. Okay. And yeah, I think that's good. I mean, we really wanted to, we could even stamp and, well, maybe we'll save that. Because I was thinking we could stamp and like cut out this little watering can. Let me see. Told you I always have to run for something. Hi, Ziggy. She's coming to check on me. Alright, I'm going to grab a scrap of cardstock. Hi, Zig. Alright, so just a scrap here with some espresso. We'll see if we like this or not. Okay. Down there. Color this. Whoops. Boy, I'm all over the place today. Alright, let's just color this quick. The watering can had some basic gray here. And then I'll do some daisies or some mums here. We'll do them in some, I saw these really cute ones at the store the other day that had these nice bright fall colors. They must be a form of daisy or mums or something. And let's see, there's the old olive. That for my stems. And then just do a little blending. Okay, scratch that off. Let's do these. Okay, so my thought process here was to actually, oh, bye Nancy, have a good day at work. Okay, so I was thinking I could cut this out quickly with my snips and then just kind of add that as an accent alongside the sentiment. Let's see here. Can always kind of touch this up. Oh, there goes my dryer. Clothes are done. Okay, let's see here. I'm not real big on fussy cutting, but you know, sometimes it's kind of fun like this. Some people do find it therapeutic right there along with their coloring. I've known people that say they like to sit in front of their TV and they'll even fussy cut and things while they're watching a show, and I'm like, well, I like search Pinterest while I'm watching TV. I do kind of feel like, oh, I can't just sit there and watch, but I don't think I could really fussy cut. It's not completely relaxing to me. All right, let's go around this. I don't know if this is making you dizzy, but apologize if it is. Right through there. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Could trim a little bit extra down through here. Just kind of snip that out. Okay. All right, so I'll just put a little dimensional on the back here. And then, what do you think? It kind of matches, kind of goes with our theme a little bit. I do think I need a little more gray here on the can. Blend that some. There we go. I like that better. Yeah, I think that looks kind of cute. What do you guys think? Could even add a few little pearls to the daisy centers, but yeah, I think I like the way that turned out. So that is the Garden Shed stamp set with the Come Together Designer Series paper. So that's our garden card. And then we use the Heartland stamp set here. I made along with the Come Together Designer Series paper, made our little tractor card. So yeah, so it did take me about 40 minutes after I fussy cut all that, but there we have 2 fun fall farm watercolored pencil cards. All right, thank you guys so much. Definitely be sure to like and to share. Leave me some comments. Sorry about the camera moving here. Yes, hi Mary Jo. All right, well, it's good to see all of you here watching with me. And like I said before, definitely like and follow my Facebook page here. And if you're on YouTube, give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you'll receive notifications of my next video. Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.